Daf Yomi, Tractate Sanhedrin, page 14a, top of the page, with the words Batlu Dine Knasos Mi Israel. Let's take a look at these dafs. They've been pretty big lately. These dafs, wow. Yeah, this is a bigger daf. Okay. Batlu Dine Knasos Mi Israel Shepa Machas. גזר מלכוס ראש שמד על ישראל שכל הסומך יהורג וכל נסמך יהורג ועיר שסומכין בו תיחרב וסיכומים שסומכין בהן יקרו. The laws of fines would have ceased to be implemented from among the Jewish people, as they would not have been able to adjudicate cases involving these laws due to lack of ordained judges. This is because at one time the wicked kingdom of Rome issued decrees of religious persecution against the Jewish people with the aim of abolishing the chain of ordination and the authority of the sages. They said that anyone who ordains judges will be killed, and anyone who is ordained will be killed, and the city in which they ordain the judges will be destroyed, and the signs identifying the boundaries of the city in which they ordained judges will be uprooted. These measures were intended to discourage the sages from performing or receiving ordination due to fear for the welfare of the local population. Ma'asa Yehuda ben Bava. What did Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava do? Halach yashav lo ben shnei harim gedolim. ובין שני עיירות גדולות ובין שני תחומי שבת בין אושה לשפרם ושמח שם 5 זקנים, ואלו הן רבי מאיר, רבי יהודה ורבי שמעון ויוסי ורבי אלעזר בן שמו. רב אביה מוסיף אף רבי נחמיה. What did Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava do? He went and sat between 2 large mountains, between 2 large cities, and between 2 Shabbat boundaries, between Usha and Shepharam, meaning in a desolate place that was not associated with any particular city, so that he not endanger anyone not directly involved. And there he ordained 5 elders, and they were Rabbi Meir, and Rabbi Yehuda, and Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Yossi, and Rabbi Elazar ben Shamua. Rav Avia adds that Rabbi Nehemiah was also among those ordained. This incident indicates that ordination can be performed by a single sage. Kevan shekiru oivim behen amar lehen banai rotsu amar lo Rebbe ma tehei alecha amar lehen hareini mutar lifnehem כאבן שאין לה הופכין. אמרו, לא זזו משם עד שנעצו בו 300 לונחיוס של ברזל ועשו כברו. When their enemies discovered them, Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava said to the newly ordained sages, "My sons, run for your lives." They said to him, "My teacher, what will be with you?" Yehuda ben Bava was elderly and unable to run. He said to them, "In any case, I am cast before them like a stone that cannot be overturned. Even if you attempt to assist me, I will not be able to escape due to my frailty. But if you do not escape without me, you will also be killed." People say about this incident, the Roman soldiers did not move from there until they inserted 300 iron spears into him. Wow. Making him appear like a sieve pierced with many holes. Oh, poor Yehuda ben Bava. Horrible. Yehuda ben Bava achrine hava bahadeh v'hai delo chashiv lehu mishum kevodo de Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava. Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava. Horrible. 299. Yehuda ben Bava is 87. Who knows? Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava Samche, Veha Amar Bar Chana, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Kol Ha'omer Rabbi Meir lo Samchu Rabbi Akiva Eino Elatoye, Samche Rabbi Akiva velo Kiblu, Samcha Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava v'Kiblu. The proof is refuted that there may have been other sages performing the ordination with Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava, who were added in order to reach the quota of 3 sages, and this fact that they were not mentioned is due to an honor of Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava, who was the greatest among them. The Gemara asks, and with regard to Rabbi Meir, did Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava actually ordain him? But doesn't Rabbi Bar Chana say that Rabbi Yochanan says, anyone who says that Rabbi Akiva did not ordain Rabbi Meir is nothing other than mistaken? The Gemara answers, Rabbi Akiva in fact ordained Rabbi Meir, but the people did not accept the appointment, as Rabbi Meir was still very young. Therefore, sometime later, Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava ordained him a second time, and they accepted it. Amar Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi, ein smicha b'chutz la'aretz. My ein smicha, ilim edeloi di'ani dine, k'nasois klal b'chutz la'aretz. V'hotenan Sanhedrin oheges, bein ba'aretz u'bein b'chutz la'aretz, ela delo samchinan b'chutz la'aretz. Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi says, there is no ordination outside of Eretz Yisrael. The Gemara asks, what is the meaning of there is no ordination? If we say that they may not adjudicate cases involving laws of fines at all outside of Eretz Yisrael, that is difficult. Didn't we learn in the Mishnah, Makot 7a? The Sanhedrin and its authority functions both in Eretz Yisrael and outside of Eretz Yisrael. Rather, the intention is that we do not ordain judges outside of Eretz Yisrael. Shita, somchin b'chutz la'aretz v'nismachin ba'aretz, hamrinan delo, ela somchin ba'aretz v'nismachin b'chutz la'aretz mai. The Gemara comments, it is obvious that if those ordaining the new judges were outside of Eretz Yisrael, and those being ordained were inside Eretz Yisrael, we say that they may not perform the ordination. But if those ordaining the new judges were inside of Eretz Yisrael, and those being ordained were outside of Eretz Yisrael, what is the halacha? May ordination be conferred from a distance in this situation? Toshima. Come and proof from Braise. The Rabbi Yochanan Hagbin. I think it's a Braise, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it probably is. But anyway, the Rabbi Yochanan Hagbin Star, Alei, the Rabbi Shemin Bar Abba, de lo have gabayu delis mechei, Rabbi Shimon ben Zirud, echad de ameh, umanu Rabbi Yonatan ben Achmai, v'amri lo Rabbi Yonatan ben Achmai v'chad de imeh, umanu Rabbi Shimon ben Zirud, echad de have gabayu samchuhu, echad de lo have gabayu lo samchuhu. The Gemara clarifies, coming here, resolution to the dilemma from the fact that Rabbi Yochanan was distressed concerning Rabbi Shimon bar Abba, as the latter was not with the other sage at the time they received the consent of the Nasi, so that Rabbi Yochanan could ordain him. In addition, concerning Rabbi Shimon ben Zirud, and one who was with him, the Gemara interjects, and who is he? Rabbi Yochanan ben Achmai. And some say that it was Rabbi Yochanan ben Achmai and one who was with him. The Gemara interjects, and who is he? Rabbi Shimon ben Zirud. The Gemara continues, although these two sages were equal in stature, the sages ordained only the one who was with them in Eretz Yisrael, and they did not ordain the other one who was not with them. This indicates that ordination can be granted only in Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Chanina Bar Yehoshua, Havi Komishtakid, Mishtakid, Rabbi Yochanan le'smichinu. Lo havi mistaya milsa, havi kumistara tuva. Amru lo nistar mar, de'anan midbes eli kasinan. The The Gemara relates several other incidents with regard to ordination. Rabbi Yochanan persistently tried to ordain Rabbi Hanina and Rabbi Yehoshua, as they were scholars and righteous people, but he was not successful with regard to the matter, as various incidents repeatedly interfered with his plan. And he was very distressed about this. They said to him, "Do not be distressed, our master, as we come from," meaning our descendants of, the house of the high priest of Eli. To Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachman, Amar Rabbi Yonasan, Menayin she'ein nismachin lebeis Eli, shene'emar, lo yezaken bebeitcha kol hayamim, ma zaken, ile ma zaken mamash, yachetiv, kol marbit beitcha yemutu anashim el asmicha. As Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachman says, that Rabbi Yonatan says, from where is it known that there are not to be ordained sages from the house of Eli, as it is stated with regard to the house of Eli, and there shall not be an elder in your house forever. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 32. The Gemara explains what is the meaning of elder in this verse. If we say it means an actual elder, meaning an old person, but isn't it already written, and all those raised in your house shall die young men? 1 Samuel 2:33. Rather, the term elder is an honorary term for sage, and it means that ordination will not be granted to descendants of the house of Eli. Rabbi Zera, Havi mitamer mitmar milis mechedam Rabbi Lozo leolam havi kabel v'kayom. Kevan deshame leho de Omar Rabbi Lozo ein adam oile legedula ela im kein moichlen loy al kol avoinoiso. The Gemara relates Rabbi Zera would habitually hide himself so that they would not ordain him. Interesting. He did this due to the fact that Rabbi Elazar said, always be obscure and remain alive, meaning the more humble and unknown you make yourself, the longer you will live. When he heard that which Rabbi Elazar also said, a person does not rise to greatness unless all his sins are forgiven, he understood that there are also benefits to greatness, and presented himself to the Nasi in order that he would ordain him. Ki samchu l'Rabbi Zera shaulei hachi, lo kachal velo sarak, velo pirkus, v'ya'alat chen. Ki samchu l'Rabbi Ami, l'Rabbi Asi shaulei hachi, kol min dain. Kol min dain smuchu lana. Lo tismuchu lana, lo mesartimitin, velo mesarmisin. Ve'amrele lo mechamisin, velo meturmisin. The Gemara relates, when they ordained Rabbi Zera, the sages who were present at the ceremony sang to him this paean, I'm not sure what that is, paean of praise. Maybe it's an old word for poem, maybe. A poem of praise traditionally sung to a bride at her wedding. She wears no blue eyeshadow and no rouge on her face, and no hair dye, and nevertheless she radiates grace. The bride is described so beautiful that she does not need any cosmetics or adornments, and metaphorically Rabbi Zera is praised as exceptionally and recognizably qualified for his appointment. Similarly, when they ordained Rabbi Ami and Rabbi Asi, they sang to them this poem of praise. Paean. I've never seen that word before. Paean. P-A-E-A-N. Not sure. Anyone like these ordain for us as they epitomized the ideal candidate for ordination, but do not ordain for us those counted among the rags, the misarmitin, or among the distorters, misarmisin, the rags. Anyone like these ordain for us as they epitomize the ideal, but do not ordain for us those counted as rags or distorters. Misarmitin or misarmisin. Misarmitin, misarmisin. And some say, they said, do not ordain for us those counted among the robbers. Mechamisin, or among the tramplers, Meturmisin. Rabbi Abahu, Gihaviasi Misifte Lebe Kezer, Nafki Matronisa Lebe Kezer, Meshainle, Rabbi Damen Bedabra Dumite, Butsina Dinohora Brich, Metayach Lishalam. Since the song was composed for various sages were mentioned, the Gemara now recounts that when Rabbi Bahu would come from the yeshiva to the house of the emperor, the ladies from the emperor's house would go out and sing before him, "O great one of his people, leader of his nation, illuminating candle, may your arrival be blessed in peace." What are we holding time-wise? Wow. Might have to do another, well, let's see. Arifat egla bishloisha tanu abanon. You know what? I don't want to be rushing it so much. Hold on. I don't want to be rushing it so much. And so, you think we can make it? Or are we holding 3 minutes? Let's try to do it. Okay, fine. We'll fly it. Okay. Zekenecha shneim v'shavtecha shnayim ve'ein bezdin shakul mosifin leihen od echad harei kan shechamisha divrei Yehuda Rabbi Shimon Oimer zekenecha shnayim ve'ein bezdin shakul mosifin leihen od echad harei kan shlosha. The Mishnah teaches that the breaking of the heifer's neck is performed in front of a panel of 3 judges, and that Rabbi Yehuda says that there must be 5 judges. The sages taught in Braita. The verse states, "And your elders and your judges shall go out, and they shall measure the cities that are around the corpse." Deuteronomy 21:2. Your elders is in the plural, which indicates a minimum of 2, and your judges is also plural, indicate 2. And the court may not be composed of an even number of judges. They add an additional 1 to them. And so there are 5 judges there. This is the statement of Rabbi Yehuda. Shimon says your elders indicate 2. And as a court may not be composed of an even number of judges, they add an additional 1 to them, so they are 3 judges here. Rabbi Shimon, Hai Shavtecha, My Avidle Hahu, Hahu mi boy Lemiuchan Shibish Shavtecha, Rabbi Yehuda Mizikne Nechanavka. The Gemara asks, but according to Rabbi Shimon, what does he do with this extra expression? Your judges, the Gemara answers, he requires it to teach that these judges may be of the unique ones among your judges, meaning that they must be members of the Sanhedrin. The Gemara asks, and how does Rabbi Yehuda derive the halakha that the judges must be members of the Sanhedrin? He derives it from the fact that the verse did not merely state elders, but rather your elders, which indicates the elders that are unique to all the Jewish people, meaning the sages of the Sanhedrin. Rabbi Shimon, Im ziknei havi amina ziknei ashuk kasav rachmana ziknecha bikzu ziknecha havi amina Sanhedrin katana kasav rachmana shavtecha mimi yuchadin shavtecha Rabbi Yehuda gamar ziknei ziknei v'samchu ziknei ha'ida es yedeihem mal ahalim yuchadin shbeida avkan yuchadin shavtecha. And how does Rabbi Shimon respond to this claim? He holds that if the verse had written only elders, I would say that the verse is referring to any elders in the marketplace who are not members of the Sanhedrin. Therefore, the merciful one writes, your elders. And if it was written your elders, I would say that it is referring to members of a lesser Sanhedrin. Therefore, the merciful one writes, and your judges, to indicate that they must be of unique ones among your judges. And how would Yehuda respond to this claim? He learns it by means of a verbal analogy from the word elders written in this verse and the word elders written in the verse, and the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands on the head of the bull, Leviticus 4:15. Just as there it is referring to the unique ones of the congregation, so here is referring to the unique ones among the elders. E Alif, we're holding on time here, just about at 20. Okay. E Alif Leilif, Kulim Hasam Zeganekav Shavtecha Lamoni Elav Vav Shavtecha Levinaya. Rabbi Shimon Vav Leidarish. Gemara asks if he learns this verbal analogy, he should learn all of it, meaning the entire halacha, including the number of judges as well as their rank. From there, meaning the verse in Leviticus, and if so, why do I need the extra expressions, your elders and your judges? Rather, certainly, he does not accept this verbal analogy. Rather, he holds that the additional letter Vav, corresponding
to the word and, the expression and your judges is there for the tally, meaning that the expression your judges teaches that they must be members of the great Sanhedrin, and the additional vav serves to add as an additional to the number of judges. And how does Rabbi Shimon respond to that? He does not expound the additional letter vav. El mi'atev yatsi yeshnayim v'madu shnayim Rabbi Yehuda harei tisha Rabbi Shimon shiva ahu miboyale kedetanya yatsu v'hein lo shaluchan u'madidu shafilu nimtzat. The Gemara asks, and if it is so, if the verbs in the plural form are each understood as adding an additional two judges, then the expression and they shall go out in the continuation of the verse Deuteronomy 21:2 indicates another two, and the expression and they shall measure adds another two, meaning that according to Rabbi Yehuda there should be 9 judges, and according to Rabbi Shimon 7. The Gemara answers he needs this exposition for that which is taught in a brisa. The verse states, and they shall go out, to emphasize that they must go out, and not their agents, and the verse states, and they shall measure, to teach that this measurement is itself a mitzvah, such that even if the corpse is found clearly close to the city, so that there's no need to measure in order to determine the close city, nevertheless they must involve themselves with the measurement.